Hello everyone from Patio Frutal. This is Sergio coming at you. Today I'm going to show you how I do air layers on my fig trees. And for that reason, we're going to go inside the greenhouse because temperature is still cold in New England. And well, I'm going to go inside here and I'm going to show you how my figs are doing inside the greenhouse. It is nice and toasty in here. And well, this one is my Olympian fig tree, and as you can tell, it is loaded with Briva figs, and to me that is unbelievable. How well they have responded to the heat from the greenhouse, and as you know, if you have seen my previous video, well, right down there is my root cellar, which is almost 6 feet deep into the ground. And inside here, well, these are all my figs and some tropical plants in the background there. So that's what's in here. So what I wanted to show you today is I have a lot of air layers that I'm doing to my fig trees because I let them grow too tall last year. And what ended up happening is that the top part of it, 6 feet high, well, they all died back from being in the root cellar. As you know, that's an underground shelter. And, well, I'm going to trim my plants to be all small, like this Olympian fig. This one with all these fruit on it. And I can say this thing has like over 50 figlets on it. Look at that. They're just everywhere. This is last year wood. So what I want to show you here is what I need to do to get these plants multiplying in my garden. And see if we find a good position to show you how I'm going to do this. And let me make sure that I'm getting a good view from here. Nope, not a good site. All right, find another location where you can see what I am doing right here. So let's see, it'll be right here. Yeah, okay, that's a good spot. Maybe I'll back the camera out for a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see right there what we're going to be doing. So to start off, start with a knife, sharp knife, and we're going to remove the bark out of the tree, and you just go around with it. And also don't forget that this plant has a lot of latex, so some people are very allergic to it, so in case you are, just protect yourself with some gloves. So we're gonna go around. See the latex coming out? That's because it's springtime. So I'm only going to remove like an inch of bark, and you're just going to go around again. Okay, so once you do that, now you're going to cut the bark all the way down, and you're going to start removing it. Make sure it's all cut through, otherwise you're going to peel the wood. All right, so this one is all set. Now you remove that bark. Now underneath here, there is another layer of bark. It's called a tendon layer. So you have to scrape that off. If you don't do that, well, your tree is just going to grow another bark on it, and you're not going to get any roots. So you're just going to have to scrape it off. has to be completely off. So take your time when you're doing this. Be meticulous about it. All right, perfect. Now, see all the tendon layer here that came off? There's plenty of it. It's very thin. Now, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna score the bark, because see, you come to a node here. So you're just gonna score it. Also, be very careful with your knife, because you won't be the first one to get cut doing this. Just be careful. So the reason why I'm scoring this is so the roots will come out from this node here. So I score that, and then I'm gonna take a little brush, and I got this rooting powder, and I'm gonna spread that in there on those cuts, and that's where your roots are gonna be coming out. So you just tap a little bit of rooting hormone, and put it on all around it. That way you get good rooting chances. It's not that you're not gonna get roots if you don't do this, because I'm not an expert, but I'm just showing you what I know, and you make your own way how to do it. So now, as you see over here in these cups that I just have, this is just a regular coffee cup that I use for this method, and I split it from the top. You got to be very careful when you're doing this cut here. Usually put it upside down, go with the knife and cut the thick part, which is the hardest part, and do it on a piece of wood. That way you don't get cut. And you cut that, and you just you come and cut down, and then on the bottom of it, then you come to the bottom part where the wood is going to come through, and you're going to score it, so you have a space to push the wood through, like that. See that? So your wood will be that is going to hold onto the wood, and it's not going to be sliding down, falling over. So you got to make it, score it like that, so it's tight to the wood. So now that it's open, I'm just going to push it through, and after I put the hormones in there, the woody hormone, just going to do it. Put them in there. Okay, so you do that, and now your next step will be to seal that opening that you just made there. So I have a roll of tape, electrical tape. So we're gonna get this thing sealed up, and don't worry about how it looks. What it matters is that you're doing it right. So you match the top, put the tape across. That way everything holds straight. The lip up here matches, so that's why you put the tape in there. And now we're gonna put a tape all the way across to the opening that is down below. So, all right. So I'm gonna slide that to the back side, because I don't need that in the front side. And I'm gonna cut the tape long. Yes, don't forget, we are inside the greenhouse, so it's nice and toasty in here. It's not outdoor. If you're doing this outdoor, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult because of the temperature. The temperature is going to be a little bit hard to stick tape. Okay, so we're going to go inside with the tape so it holds. And then when you put the lid on top, that holds the tape in place. And now we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom, stick it. All right. So remember that the white part that you remove the bark goes inside. All right. So just an extra measurement. We're gonna put around the tape on the bottom, so nothing will slip off. Okay. We're gonna cut. All right. So once you've done that, in case you have any little gap on the bottom, then you just put tape. Tape is cheap, and this doesn't have to look pretty like you're going to a flower show. All you need is to hold everything you got inside. So now, this is the lid. I already split the lid, and I also split the top. So this will hug up the wood on the top. It will go in that position. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the soil, support the tree trunk, the cup on the bottom. You can use any potting soil you want on this. It's nothing too fancy. All right, so once you put your soil in there, then you have to tighten it. Push it down, give your cup support, and you just gonna make it tight. And also remember, since the hole is here on the side, then you either push the cup one way or the other, so it ended up being on the side. If you center it like I did now, and that's the reason why I'm telling you, is you're just gonna make it sideways like that. That way, the tree stays on the side. The hole stays on the side where I want it. It's gonna have some inclination there. So, I'm gonna fill this up more. Since you already compacted down, doesn't have to be super tight. It's just you want to eliminate air bubbles. Not that this will matter much, but because we'll see how long it'll take. But I believe it should take about 4 weeks. And we'll give you some update. I'll show you how the roots are growing, and since it is a clear cup, you're gonna be able to see your progress right off the back. Okay, so now we have this done. The soil is tight. So the last thing you need to do is you need to add some water, because my soil was a little bit dry since it was inside the greenhouse. So put in enough water so everything is moist all the way down to the bottom. Now we're gonna open the cap, put it in there. Remember, this is just nothing fancy. This is just a coffee cup from one of those big chain stores. And there you go. All right. So there you go. So now that you have your lid on, then you're just going to seal the extra openings that you have where you put the wood in there. That way you want to lock in your moisture. You don't want it to be drying up because you got too much opening places. So a little bit more on that side. It's almost perfect. So your lid is nice and tight. It is where it should be. And as you see, it's leaking a little bit, but that's because maybe I put too much water. But that's the idea. So there you go, guys. My plants has been inside the greenhouse now for 19 days, and in 19 days, the progress is quite amazing. You see, it has a lot of this one that we just did the air layer. Has some figlets going on, some breeba crop, and we'll see. These are my method. As you see, I have a few of them, so I have like 7 plants. Oh, also another thing before I forget is always date your plants. That way you know how long you had been rooting these plants. And you see other ones back there and some other ones over here. And I also, what I did to the greenhouse is I put this vent up here, So you see, this is the main entrance. But I also put a heater here, small heater, just in case it went down to like 30 degrees. And it did a couple of nights at the beginning of April. And this fan that you see on the top it has a thermostat control that you can, if it gets too hot in here, it will just turn on the fan. And I also have some of the windows slightly open, you see back there. So in case you needed to draw some air to cool the greenhouse, so they don't get cooked, because it gets pretty hot in there. Today it's 55 degrees and it's cold out, and windy. But as you see here, the plants are just doing. They're loving it. They're growing a lot of figs, and hopefully we have a pretty big crops. So there you go, guys. From Patio Frutal. Like, share, and subscribe. And that's the final product. And have a great evening.